Earlier this year on September 29th, we had 2 firefighters that were deployed to California to help the California Fire Service, and the state of California requested through the state of Texas a TIFMAS deployment, and a TIFMAS is Texas Intrastate Fire Mutual Aid System. Chad Leeper and Will Stripling, they participated in the deployment, and Will and Chad will do a great job of sharing their experience with you.
So what we did in this instance is a crew swap. So through TIFMAS in our branch is run by Chief Cade Long out of Schertz, Texas, and he's in charge of orchestrating and getting all that resource and equipment and personnel all lined up. So what we did for the city is we actually sent 2 firefighters to go over and fill seats on already placed trucks in California. So that order came in, that gets preset, everything gets good, and then you get a green light, and then you head over.
With us being part of TIFMAS, everybody has to have and complete what's called a task force book. That book is universal, and it's kind of universal within the nation of what skills you need to accomplish, communication you need to know. And by doing that, it enables everybody to somewhat be on the same page. Things do differ from place to place, but the core of it is all the same. So having that ability to learn that information, practice that information, was incredible.
We were in the Mendocino National Forest, so that being said, we had a lot of terrain changes that we weren't necessarily used to. Some of our hikes, you could be on a 1,000-foot elevation change or a 4,500-foot elevation change.
Our strike team deployed to the Creek Fire, which was about an hour east of Fresno. First week, we really didn't see much destruction. We were on what was called hot lines and cold lines. A lot of the fire had actually passed through the area that we were in, and we were having to do mop up, making sure the fire no longer spread any further. The second week, we saw a lot of destruction. That is when it kind of hits you right in the gut of why you're there and what you're doing.
And also the trees. Not very often around here, especially there we work in, or you working around 150, 200-foot trees. And that's a big game changer for us. So it's a big safety factor as well.
When you hear trees falling at night, it's out of the world. It's almost like thunder. It's probably the scariest part of the job is what are called snags. But trees, you have stump holes, which are a couple thousand degrees hot still, and you have ash piles, which are the same. The hazards are extremely incredible. So we would work a 24-hour shift actually on the mountain, which really turned into about a 30-hour shift.
So our day would start, we'd wake up at about 4:30, 4:45, and we would drive and head out. By the time we make it to the camp, it'd be around 6:30 in the morning.
Going through ICP, Incident Command Post.
We'll refuel, we'll restock our lunches. So like I said, lunch and dinner we're eating out there on the line.
Make our plan for the day. It would take from there about an hour to be on the mountain.
Driving up these kind of roads and trails up into the mountains. And then we would get to our operating area and then we'd begin working.
Once you're on the mountain, we're hitting hot spots, pulling forestry hose, doing whatever is needed. Absolutely whatever is needed, no questions asked.
After midnight, it was kind of known as R&R. We're still kind of heads on the swivel, still wearing gear.
One of the strike teams would have to stay up while the others would try to get some rest. And you would literally lay your sleeping bag on the ground and try to get a few hours of sleep.
And when the morning would come in, we would swap out. So we would head out from our position on the line, and once we'd head back in, the next crew would be coming on.
And by the time you got back to the hotel, I mean, it was a 30-hour day. It makes you realize just how fast things can change, just in general, and makes you appreciate what you have even more.
Usually fire season used to kind of be in a set parameter of months, and now it just kind of flows throughout the year. That's definitely a big change that we're seeing. Deployments like this aren't going to be slowing down anytime soon. They're actually picking up.
But everybody there that lived there was super thankful that we were there. It was an incredible experience, that part of it.
We implement in Texas through the Texas Forest Service, and that's wildland mitigation planning.
And because of the defensible space the homeowner did, we were able to have engines and firefighters in here during the flaming front safely.
That's preparing your structures or your neighborhoods or your homes if you live in a wildland urban interface. That being said, a lot of people in California, the terminology is very fluent for them. It's something they deal with on a regular basis. So their homes are already prepared. They have a defensible space, which is an area around the space that's clear of vegetation. So if a fire does come up to their home, that they are protected. That's one thing here big in Boerne and Kendall counties. We have a lot of neighborhoods People come here, they like to live in the hill country. They like that country feel, they like that view, but they may be living on a hillside with, you know, everything down in that draw or that little ravine is all cedar trees all the way up to their backyard. So that is one thing we can work on here, is definitely having neighborhoods and homes with defensible spaces, because in the long run that will be a saving factor. So one of the things you can do is you can contact the fire department, see what you're working with on a defensible space. And that's a project we're trying to work on here right now within the fire department, is implementing that plan out to the citizens. You definitely don't want any trees overhanging over your roof, leaves or pines. We don't necessarily have the pines here, but up in your gutters and on your roof, just dormantly laying throughout the year. And those are all fuels that when a fire comes through, that's what a fire is looking for. It's looking for something to burn. And the more fuel we can take away from the fire around your home, the better off your house and your home's going to be in the long run.
The brotherhood that is created in a very short amount of time is incredible. And to be able to bring back that here to Boerne, I mean, speaks volumes. I was able to grow quite a bit as an individual being out there. Not knowing anybody originally on my strike team, you have to become friends, best friends rather quick, because each other's lives depend on it.
Thank you again for watching this video. If you have any questions, please check the Boerne Fire Department website, the City of Boerne website, or you can contact the fire station at 830-249-3644 if you have any questions regarding firefighting and wildfires in your area. Thank you again.